This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, now we can see SAP stands for System Applications and Products in Data Processing. So SAP is the market leader in ERP software. ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning and helps in companies of all sizes. So you can write the definition of this. And ERP is a enterprise resource planning, and it's run with the Tally and SAP also. Tally is also a ERP product, SAP also a ERP product. Okay, so next is introductions to ERP. First I'll give you. So enterprise resource planning, ERP refers to a type of software that organizations use to manage day-to-day business activities. In this, I want to ask you few questions. You can answer now. So what are the business activities? Yes, students, what are the business activities? Anyone can answer?
Production,
Okay. Any more activities? See,
sales,
business activities I'll explain. It is like daily purchase, sales, deposits, withdrawals, receipts, and payments. So these all are activities of the business, and it is called as the transactions. Everyone commerce students, so everyone knowing about what the transaction. Transactions is the day-to-day activities of the business, and it includes different departments like production, sales, HR department, accounts department, finance department, research and development department. There is the other departments also there. So these are the activities and the departments of the business. In economy, there are different kinds of business. Like if I'll tell you, sole proprietorship business means single owner will be there, and partnership business, joint stock company, public sector companies, private sector companies, is all it will be there. Okay, so these are the different kinds of business, such as, and the business activities such as accounting, procurement, project management, risk management, and compliances, and supply chain. In this supply chain means you can say it was inward supplies and outward supplies. Inward supply means purchase, as I told you, and outward supply means your, what is that, sales. So if you want, you can make a note on this. What is ERP includes? In this, any doubt have students, you can ask me related to business activities or related to ERP. So ERP includes one more thing, like it's a man, material, machine, and money. These are the requirements of the ERP structure. Okay, so everyone has joined the meeting here. Okay, are you able to understand? So if you are able to see the screen and understanding, please put your thumbs up.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is all accounting. There are different kinds of accounting. Inventory management is there. It includes taxation also. Okay, procurement, project management, risk management, as I discuss on this. Next is, what are the ERP structure here? ERP structure, it includes like financial management, supply chain management, manufacturing, resource planning, human resource management, customer relationship management, and ERP system. That's all it includes. So financial management belongs to your accounts department. It includes like material, it includes labor, all these things, it belongs to the material management also. So finances belongs to your Sunday debtors, Sunday creditors. Okay, and purchase, sales, daily activities like whatever deposits, withdrawals we are doing, companies account, that and all it includes. Supply chain, as it is, I told you, like purchase, sales, it related to the purchase return, sales return. Okay, and there will be, if it is order processing, we have a like purchase order, sales order. This all includes your supply chain management. Manufacturing, it is the productions department, I can say. And resource planning and HR departments also will be there. And customers and vendors relationship with the management, this all includes your ERP structure. You can make a note on this, students. Hope all you have joined the class. Okay, so yeah, it's a done. So if it is done, put yes or one in the chat box so we can proceed for the next. Okay, okay. So we'll proceed for the next one. So next one is like this is your modern business process. What are the modern business process includes? Like inventory. First is inventory. Inventory means what? Stock item, stock group, stock category. This all includes to the inventory. In inventory, there is some things is there to tell, like units, stock category, stock items, all these things. What is that measurement unit? Like there are different measurement units will be there, like kg, liter, milliliter, all these things. And inventory is related nothing but the stocks. Vendor means your supplier. Supplier in the sense like it's a creditor, Sunday creditor. The suppliers of goods and services are known as creditors. Okay, so next is material management. Material management is like your this material management, material in, material out, all these things it will include. It is based on this like order processing, finance and accounting, human resources, and production and planning, soft floor executions, sales, distributions, customers. So what do you mean by what is the difference between vendors and customer, students? It's a very basic question. What do you mean by vendors? And as I told you, what do you mean by customers? Customers means nothing but the consumer. The person who is consuming the goods or services is known as customers. So if you want, you can point out this. These are all includes in the ERP structures of this business. Clear? Okay, so all you have done, students. So we can proceed for the next. Okay, next word is that this is called distributions. Distributions, like in economy there are different distributors will be there, like wholesaler, retailer. These are the distributors. What do you mean by wholesaler, students? What do you mean by wholesaler? Anyone can answer me, what do you mean by wholesaler?
The ones who sell goods
It's a
in
very
bulk.
basic question. Okay, in bulk. What do you mean by retailer? Yes, tell me. It's very basic questions of the accounts. Retail means small scale industries, those who have, right? Those who are wholesale business means in bulk. As one student has answered, that is a bulk selling, those who are doing, they are known as a, what is that? Wholesaler. And wholesaler will distribute, or wholesaler will sell the items to the retailer. Okay, so these are the things are there. And anyone has any query to ask, students, till this now? Are you able to understand? Okay. Okay. So any doubts? Okay, I got the response here. Thank you for that. And if any doubts, you can raise the hand and you can ask in the chat box also. Right. So let's continue with the next slides. What is that? Here, manufacturing. As I was telling about the distribution, marketing, finance, sales, engineering. Even engineering, some parts also it is includes your planning and execution, material, human resources. Next, one more slide has to be remembered, as it is vendors. Microsoft, Oracle, hello, am I audible to you? If I'm audible,
Yes.
put your response here as a thumbs up.
Yes, ma'am.
As a thumbs up. Okay. No issues. We'll continue the. So have you note down with the ERP vendors? Yes, students, have you done with the ERP version? Type yes if you have done, so we can proceed for the next one. Okay, so let's start with the next one. Klaus Wellnacher and Klaus uh, Trishicha and Hans Wellner Hector started the company's system analysis, programmatic, and system analysis program development. So these are the 5 IBM employees, those who have founded the SAP. Okay. So you can make a note on this. Who are the 5 IBM employees? Okay. Next is Christian Klein. Christian Klein is the CEO of SAP. Christian Klein is the SAP is a German language. That is your C. Christian Klein is the CEO of SAP. Now I am going to start with the introductions to SAP. So SAP software is used to control all types of critical business functions by integrating and automating key processes. SAP helps organizations to run faster and more efficiently. By storing data centrally, SAP software provides multiple business functions. As I discuss you what are the functions of the business with real-time and accurate insight into operation. So SAP software control all types of critical business operations. As I told you, what are the functions, what are the works of the business that has to be controlled by SAP software. And there's any doubts is there, students? And there's any doubts is there? Okay. So put your response if you are understanding. Voice is breaking. Okay. Is this clear now? I think Hafiza Ghanem has. Others people, everyone have to able to hear. Okay. So Hafiza, you check your little bit headphone. So same issues. Headphone is not clear. So okay, we'll it's breaking that. Is this audible? Yes, ma'am. Okay, so we'll continue. Okay, let's see the introductions once again. So SAP software is used to control all types of critical business functions by integrating and automating the key processes. And SAP has organizations to run faster and more efficiently by storing data centrally. SAP software provides multiple business functions with real-time and accurate insight into operations. Next is what is the SAP or system applications products in data processing is a widely used enterprise resource planning. As I told you, it's a ERP product, and SAP creates a centralized system for business that enables every department. It may be production, sales, it may be accounts, it may be HR department. All departments we can access to this and share common data to create a better framework. So better work environment for every employees in the company. Okay, so it's create a better framework for every employees in the company. Next is what are the functional modules of SAP? So SAP has a different functional modules. First is SAP FICO, it's financial accounting and controlling. SAP SD is a sales and distributions. SAP QM, we have SAP quality management. SAP MM is a SAP material management, and SAP PP production planning. SAP ABAP is advanced business applications programming. SAP HR is human capital management. Okay, so these are the SAP functional model. You can make a note on this. What are the SAP functional models here? So you are learning now SAP FICO model that is called as a financial accounting. So these are the functional modules of SAP. So in the financial accounting, what and all you are going to learn. So this package is called as a financial accounting. In this, you will learn how to create a companies, okay, how to define a company's assignments. You will learn about the fiscal year. What are the things you are going to learn also today? I'm going to tell you that. Okay, so you will learn how to create a fiscal year as our financial year starting from the 1st of April to 31st March. Okay, this is a one financial year. In SAP we are telling as a fiscal year, and SAP provides 12 posting periods with 4 special periods for the auditing. Okay, so 4 special periods has been maintenance for the auditing purpose. tax adjustments, tax clearing. For this we can use this for special periods. So total we are using 16 posting periods, you will get to know. And here we'll do accounts payable, accounts receivable, GST configuration in SAP, and as well as how to raise invoice like your accounts payment. Okay, so these all are includes, even banking features also will be there, how to create GL accounts, all it will be there. And lastly the topics will be the cash journals in SAPFI, that is called cash payment and cash receipt transactions also we are going to learn. And lastly we are giving little bit introductions to the assets accounting, and that's all. So these are the financial account, it totally belongs to your accounts department. And other module sales and distributions, that is also there, but in this we are learning now FICO module. Okay, next is what is SAP methodology. What is SAP methodology? Accelerated SAP methodology, you can write the full form here. It is a comprehensive framework and set of best practices designed to help companies streamline and accelerate the SAP implementation process, reduce the project risk, and ensure that SAP align with the critical business objectives. So everyone able to see the screen? So voice is clear? Okay. So in this, any doubts is there? Till now, what I have discussed, if any doubts, let me know on that. Any doubts, put in the chat box if you have any doubts, any concept you have not understands. Okay. So we'll continue. Any queries, any questions? Type yes if you are able to understand and if you are audible also. Okay. Okay, so we'll start this. So ASAP methodology, you can make a note on this. Accelerated methodology is known as SAP methodology, is a comprehensive framework and set of best practices. So in SAP, implemented solutions. Next is ASAP methodology. What it includes? It includes project preparations. There is a 5 stages of SAP methodology. First is project preparations. Then is business blueprint, you also can point out this. Then final preparations, and last stage is like go live. Okay, project preparations means what is the project preparations, I'm going to discuss that. So first phase 1, this phase sets the baseline for successful SAP implementations and requires strategic decisions making on certain factors such as defining project goals. So before starting any business, we need to finalize the project here, and this is the goals and objectives. Establishing the scope of implementations, planning the project sequence. So this is the planning stage. We can say project planning stage. and budget plans and implemented schedule. So this is the stage we need to finalize the project. We have to make a project, and we are going to set the budget and implementation schedule. We need to schedule for this project. So this is, we can say, planning phase. Here we can point out the project's goals, objectives, rules, all these things it will take into considerations. So this is the planning and executions. Okay, next phase is, second phase is like business blueprint. What is a business blueprint here? So this we can say mapping the things and all. The business blueprint provides a common strategy of how your business process are to be mapped into a one or more SAP system. So just like, if I'll give an example, you are taken examples of constructions of one buildings, so there should be a map for that. Okay, we are making a map how the structures of that, what will be the like if I'll take one township on this, you have to make a plan for that. So you have to make a constructions and structure on this. That is called your map. The business blueprint documents in details of the scope of business scenario, business process steps, what are the steps has to be followed to implement this project. That also take into considerations and the requirements of an SAP solution implementations. This we can say business blueprint stage. That means mapping the project for that, how it will work. Just like you are planning a house, so what you will do, where will be kitchen, where will be the your study room, all these things has to be mapped. No, likewise we can map the project. So this is the second phase of this SAP methodology. Okay, next one is third stage, is realization stage, which is known as decision making stage. Okay, so phase 3, the purpose of this phase is to implement all the business requirements based on the business blueprint. So we have done map, we have decided, then the system configurations methodology is a framework into two packages: baseline, major scope, and final configurations. This is the configuration stage, we can say. And remaining, so all the SAP system has to be configured before starting the work. Okay, so before starting work on the project, we need to configure all the settings. And this is the stage based on the blueprint. And this we can say implemented, SAP implementations page also we can say. Clear? Students, any doubts is there? Is there any doubts? So third stage is known as your implementation of SAP stage. So if you understood, type 1 in the chat box. If you understood, student, put 1. Type 1 in the chat box. If you have not understood, type 2. Okay. So we'll continue then. If any doubts, let me know on that. Okay, so here realization stage, this is called SAP implementation stage. Next is final stage, this is called phase 4. Final preparations. This is called decisions time. The final preparations phase includes activities required to prepare both SAP systems and your employees. See, to work on a project, we want system as well as employees. Okay, before go live, the employees should get trained on this, and they will be knowing about the configurations and depending on the realizations and testing phase. So, which is the testing phase? Realization phase we can say is a testing phase also, implementation phase and testing. So depending on the realizations and testing phase result, an ERP implementations methodology will make any changes if required. You are understanding? So our third phase is called as a realizations. In that we are going to implement and configure the SAP. For that is known as testing phase also. But this phase we are now taking into considerations both employees as well as the software. Okay, so an ERP implementations methodology will make any changes. So is there any changes in the software or configuration or integrations? If required, we can do that in this phase. If required, for a complete migrations to the SAP system. Okay, so that means if any required in the software implementations, we can check and we can change it. If not, then we can proceed for the go live. Clear? So this is called final preparation phase, and this phase is known as phase 4. So any requirements in the changes or any migrations is required, we can do it in this phase. So this is the final preparations. Next is last phase is known as go live. Go live is the phase 5. Go live SAP is in certain way the output of this process. In fact, it refers to the moment of going into productions. Productions means the things is the event is going to happen. Now that means we are ready to work on this SAP software, and if therefore concerns the final phase of this SAP ERP evaluations or implementations project. So this is the final stage where software as well as employee are ready to work on this. That is called as a production phase. Okay, so go live is the time at which something becomes available for use. You understood? This is the sentence has to be remembered. Go live is the time at which something something's become available for use. So in our software development, for example, go live is the point at which codes move from the text environment to the production environment. Okay. So as a verb, go live means make such an event happen. So understood the 5 phases of SAP methodology. Okay. So type 1, if you have understood the SAP methodology, you are understanding. Okay. So these are the 5 phases of SAP methodology. SAP landscape. Now the new things I'm going to start. SAP landscape. So you can note on this like An SAP landscape is a group of two or more SAP systems. What is SAP landscape? It is a group of two or more SAP systems that usually includes development, quality, test, and production. So next is like what is SAP landscape? I'll tell you in detail. A landscape is a logical group of systems, okay, based on the same SAP products, releases with different purposes. So this is the point which you have to understand. So SAP landscape is what? It's a logical group of systems based on the same SAP products and release, okay, with different purposes. The most common landscape is a three tier one. So meaning that it has a three systems within the landscape. So it is called a three-tier architecture also. Okay, meaning that it has three systems within the landscape. Typically, these are development, quality, and production server. Okay, so this is known as three-tier architecture, SAP landscape. Three-tier systems we can say. So first one is development server. Students, have you note down this SAP landscape? This you need to note down this. SAP landscape is most important. See, these are the things. SAP landscape is a most important, and it is a logical group of systems. There will be a lot of systems of SAP and different releases with the different purposes. Like one software is working for this material management, one software for production and planning, one is for financial accounting. That will be all linked to each other. The most common landscape is a three-tier one. One is meaning it has a three systems, like as I told you, development server. Let's start with that. Development server is known as using the development server business consultants. I want to tell you one important thing, students, here. Like SAP, what we are giving you classes for this, that is a end user level consultant. In SAP there are two things, one is consultant, one is end user. Which levels we are working, that is the end user level. Consultant, who is that? The SAP consultant, those who have worked more than 10 years in SAP software, and they have the rights to configure the software. They can do some modifications in the software, or any changes is required in the integration part, or they can do that. But end user levels, they are only using this, and they can use maintenance AP AR just configurations, but they cannot do any changes in the software. Okay, so that is for consultant level. And the management, and I discussed you that some phases of accounting. So some phases of this SAP landscape. These first two phases will be for consultant level. I'll just go that slides once again. Business blueprint. Okay, so project preparations, business blueprint, and realizations. These three phases has been done by the consultant level. You understood? So what I have discussed for the ASAP methodology, first two phases has to be done by the consultant level. So on the third stage, which is known as your realization stage, from this testing tools has to be done, and fourth and fifth, That is the end user level will be working on that. Clear? So this is the difference between the SAP, SAP methodology and a landscape. Clear? So we are going to learn on the end user level. So development server, what is that? Using this development server, business consultant or the management team do new customizations in the software and write a new programs for the requirements. They can do modifications. Consultant level can do modifications. It includes three clients: sandbox, development testing, and customizing clients. This has to be managed and controlled by the consultant. That's what it has mentioned. Okay. Software development is the consultant level, and quality assurance servers, that is to check. So SAP QS stands for quality assurance server. It is a system used for testing in the SAP landscape. Okay, so it is a system used for testing in the SAP landscape. You want to write the development server, students, you can write once again. If you have not done or note down, you can write. And this is totally managed and controlled by the consultant. So everyone is able to understand, able to follow. Voice is clear. If everything is okay, type 1. Yes, students, if everything is okay, you are able to understand, or and you are able to hear me clearly, so type 1. So I'll get the confirmation so I can proceed for the next. Okay. So we'll continue next one. So write what is the uh, things of development server. As I discussed, next I'm going to discuss this quality assurance server. So SAP QS stands for SAP Quality Assurance Server. It is a system used for testing in the SAP landscape. So it's a testing phase. The QS systems is used to perform quality assurance checks, testing of development. Okay, so QA systems is used to perform quality assurance checks, testing of developments, and user training before the changes are moved to the productions environment. This stage is the testing phase, we can say also. What we are going to check here, systems as well as the landscape. And system is used to perform quality, how the systems will check testing, development, and training before the changes move to the production. Just like any changes in the software, we need to give the training for the employees to work on this. Correct? Any changes, any development has done in the software, that has to be trained to the employees, and changes move to the production environment. That is known as quality assurance. Next one is production server. Production server includes golden client. Okay. Another SAP landscape client where data reaches after all the integrations, customizations, and filtrations. So you can note on this production server. So it is also known as the golden clients. Another recipe landscape clients where data reaches after all the integrations, customizations and filtrations. The production server is the main server that maintains documents of all the live data, right? Whatever data we are going to save, it is all saved in the server of the business companies once the project goes live. Okay, it's like if anyone is done with the tally data will be saved in the ODBC server, right? Google Drives, what we are saving, that is saving in the Google server. Likewise, here also we have the server where all data and documents are saved. And one more thing, students, this is a client server model and it is also known as the Golden class. That's what it is mentioned. And SAP landscape where the data reaches after all integrations, customizes what changes, applications, and filtrations. And this is the main server where all the data is going to save. And before goes live, we need to use we can live the data. Okay, next one is difference between architectures and landscape. This is to understand what is the difference between the architectures and what is the landscape. Both I have discussed, but I am going to show you now what is the difference between this. Three tier architectures we are going to discuss, and what is the difference in between landscape also. So it encompasses the technical and functional aspects of the systems, such as the hardware, software. What do you mean by hardware, students? It's a basic questions. What do you mean by hardware? Answer me. What do you mean by hardware? Yes, any of you? What is hardware? What is software?
Physical component.
Okay, physical components of the computer is known as hardware, right? With what we can see and touch. So, what do you mean by software? Software is of like three types. Software is the logical set of instructions which is given to the computer to perform a particular task. Clear? So there are three kinds of softwares. One is system software, one is application software, one is service and utility software. And there is some other special purpose software is also there which will be using for different applications, right? And system software belongs to the operating system. Before ending of the sessions, I'm going to tell you what are the requirements to install SAP, so you can get the systems. I will fix the date in between few days, and we can install the software. But you cannot install by yourself this SAP software. Our system admin will come to your college and will install. We'll fix the date. I'll be telling you that in the tomorrow sessions, and you can install this. And what are the requirements to install, I'll be telling you that. So the system software belongs to the operating system. So operating system, there are different kinds. Like I'm coming to the little bit hardware and software topics, then I'll proceed with the other slides. Okay. So software, system software is known as operating system. There are different kinds of operating system. What is that? Can you tell me? Students, can you tell me what are the types of operating system? Yeah, someone has answered me in the chat box. Okay. So, systems of, as I told you, operating system. Now, all you students are using Android, iPhone. These all are operating system like iOS operating system, Windows operating system, Android operating system, Mac. Okay. So, these are all operating system, and it create a connections between the hardware and the okay. So software is known as the collections of programs, we can say. And application software is what? Like MS Office, what few people know. Now I'm showing the presentation. This is application software. That is Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access. Okay, that is Outlook. Other softwares also there. Now special purpose softwares, if I'll take like Photoshop and design, all these things, which is be different uses. Freeware also we are using nowadays, like your Google Chrome, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, WhatsApp, whatever social media websites like you are using app, that is all your special, that is your freeware. There is no charges to use this, but there is some business software like Tally software is a business software, and SAP is the market leading software. Yeah. So this is I am telling you. So hardware software database. Now come to the point of database. What do you mean by database here? Students, what do you mean by database? You have any knowledge about the database? Yes, anyone can answer me? Database means what do you understand? I will tell you. Okay. 10 o'clock. MCC. Okay. Hello, students. One important information to all. Tomorrow, our system admin will come to your college to install SAP at 10 o'clock. Okay. So those who have systems, that means laptop, please get ready and be on time at 9:30. Okay. I'll give you the details. What is required? 8 GB RAM and 250 GB free space. Okay, students, I'll put in the message in the group also. At least you should have a 8 GB RAM and 300 GB hard disk. Okay, hard disk space should be 300 GB and minimum 8 GB RAM is required. Check your system properties and get ready by tomorrow 9:30. Our system admin sir will come to your college to install SAP. As soon as you possible, you install tomorrow. Clear, students? Okay. So those who are, please install soon. So because we are going to start tomorrow onwards practical. So I'll be working on the software. So better if you'll install tomorrow. By 9:30 you will be there in college with your systems. So everyone got the informations? Please put your thumbs up or type one. Okay. So hope all you have the systems and please install, and I'll put in the message in the WhatsApp group also what are the minimum requirements. Get it ready by tomorrow. Okay. So we'll continue our classes. Okay. So here difference between architecture and landscape. I was discussing that database is nothing but the, like there are different type of database like access database, HANA database, and we have a like SQL server database. Okay, where companies data, employees data will be recorded, will be saved. So that is known as that is known as database. Okay, and network infrastructures. So on the other hand, SAP landscape refers to the environment in which SAP systems are implemented. One simple example I'll give you here, like suppose you have one bank account, okay, and you forgot the account number and you forgot when you have opened that account. Like suppose it is a savings bank account. So everyone know about little bit savings bank account. What is SB? What is fixed deposits? If anyone has knowledge, because all are common students, so I am going to ask, do you know about this? When you are going to the bank, suppose you are opening one SB account, that is called savings banks, or RD you are opening, that is your, or else fixed deposit, that is not even, but SB accounts if you are opening, that every month you can deposit some things. In that case, suppose you forgot your account number, you have opened 2 years back, and now you are forgetting all these things. So if you'll go to the bank, they will ask you few questions related to that accounts. If you will give few informations like what email id you have given that time, what the mobile number you have given, and some few questions. So they will get the account number, everything, what is the balance, everything. How they will get to know? Because all data is saved in the database. Okay, and that is all computerized nowadays. So in a fraction, in a few minutes, they will find out all the data and you will get the benefit on that. So this is called all data are saved in the database. So network structures. Other hand, SAP landscape is refers to the environment in which SAP systems are implemented, including development, testing, and production system. I will forward these presentations at last today, and please install tomorrow by tomorrow, and we'll start the working on the software by tomorrow's class. Okay, so SAP architectures of the R3 on 3-tier architectures. What are that? So SAP based on the architectures of R3 on the 3-tier. First is presentations layer, that is called GUI. What is the full form of GUI? It's a graphical user interface. SAP runs only on the Windows platform. Try to understand. SAP runs, we can install and we can run the software on Windows platform. That's why it's called as UI interface. So presentations layer, applications layer, and database. Please note down the students. This is a very important points. Make a note on this. So presentations layer, what is that here? We can see presentations layer sends the user's input to the application server and receives data for the display from it. While a SAP GUI components is running, it remains linked to a user terminal sessions in SAP NetWeaver as above. Okay, so this is the presentation layer where employees are working. Okay, next is applications layer. So presentations layer, I'll show you with a one picture. This layer is user input applications. That means user is working on this stage. Next is your applications layer. Applications layer is also known as kernel layer and basic layer. SAP applications programs are executed in the applications layer. Okay, this is the, we can say medium, or it is an intermediate. We can say it is a kernel layer which make a communications or connections between the uh, productions layer and database layer. So applications layer serves as a purpose of communicator between the presentations layer and database layer. Understood? This is the one important point you can remember. Applications layer serves as a purpose of a communicator between presentations layer and database layer. Next is database layer. What is the database layer here? The database layer is responsible for managing and storing of all the data across in a company's SAP environment. If you want to write students, you can write a little bit about the applications layer. You can make a last point. Note down. Applications layer serves as a purpose of a communications. Any doubts in this, students? Is there any doubts? If you are understanding, type yes in the chat box. Okay, so let's continue. Communicator between the presentations layer and database layer. So what is database layer here? The database layer is the store of all live data. The database layer is responsible for managing and storing all the data across a company's SAP environment, making it easier for users to keep business rules, process, and data in the same place for improved process efficiency across teams. Okay, all the data are stored in the database layer. Next is this is the structure. This is the pictures I can say. SAP GUI is the presentations layer where the employees are working. ABAP application server 1, and this is the applications layer, message server, and database where all the live data are going to save. That is known as database layer. ABAP full form can be come in the exam, so you should know what is ABAP, Advanced Business Applications Program. So SAP Logon procedure, students. Definition: SAP Logon is a Windows program which you use to log on SAP systems on your Windows PC. That's what I told. You can install in the Windows. It mediates between the SAP. Acha, one thing you can write. You can write this structure little bit shortly. You can write SAP GUI first layer is the presentations. Mute yourself. Someone has unmute and some sound is coming. When you will ask the questions, unmute and ask. Okay, so you can draw this. Means you can write shortly. You can write SAP GUI is the presentation layer, ABAP is the applications layer, database management is the database layer. Okay, so this is the things. SAP Logon process definitions. The SAP Logon is a Windows program which you use to log on to SAP systems on your Windows and PC. It mediates between the SAP systems and SAP GUI interface. So done students, this is so definitions logons to the windows, and this is the SAP logon displays a list of available SAP systems automatically. The program you use to log on the SAP systems on your Windows PC. It mediates between the SAP systems and the SAP's UI user interface, and the SAP logon displays a list of available SAP systems and automatically selects the servers with the best current response times. Okay, so completed students. So next one is like SAP logon. This is will be telling you the procedures by tomorrow once again. So I'm going to stop here and I'm going to ask you few questions on this. So this is all related to accounts which you are going to start from tomorrow onwards. So you should have a knowledge about the accounts. What do you mean by accounting? What are the types of accounts? Because based on this, we are going to work on the students. Like, can I ask you some of the questions? So if you have answer, please respond. So as it is an accounting software, okay. So I want to ask you, what do you mean by accounting? Because I have given the introductions to SAP software and some basic informations about this. And tell me, what do you mean by accounting? Let's discuss with some of the questions, which is basics one. And tomorrow I'm going to start how to log on this software on this. Can you answer me? What do you mean by accounting? Anyone? Accounting is the process of recording, classifying, summarizing, interpreting financial transactions to provide financial information for decision making. Okay, very good. Someone has messaged me here. And what accounting includes? Accounting includes different types of terminologies. That is most important. Even I am going to discuss little bit accounts tomorrow also. Okay. So first let it be clear about the accounts, then we can start working on the software. Okay. Is it okay, students? If you are agree, type yes or one. Okay. Little bit discuss with the basics of accounts tomorrow's class, and after this we'll be starting with working on that. Only one student is one. What about others? We'll not discuss about this accounts because we are going to learn accounting software, right? So it's necessary to know that. No doubt you are all are commerce students, no doubt you are all are maybe graduates, sorry, become final year or any students. So still we have to discuss with this, then we can start our journey on this. Clear? So someone has answered me like it is a art of recording, classifying, calculating, and summarizing of business transactions related to money. If there is no money, there is no business. So money is played an important role. Not only money, material, ERP structures include, as I told you, first is money, material, men, and machines. These are the most important factors of ERP. Okay, and finally, I want to ask you how many types of accounts are there? What are the types of accounts? Okay, so what are the types of accounts? Personal, real, nominal. Okay, what do you mean by personal account? Yes, personal accounts is of three types. What are they? One is natural personal account, one is artificial personal account, one is representative personal account. Right. So natural personal accounts like it is like persons, real human being. Okay. Suppose Neha is going to open one account, Neha's account. Okay. And what is artificial? That is company's account, institutions, organizations account is known as artificial personal account. And representative is like sales tax, prepaid rent, and outstanding salaries. So these are three types of personal accounts. Real accounts is belongs to your assets. What are the types of assets? What are the types of assets, students? Please tell me. What are the types of assets?
Current asset and fixed assets.
Current asset, fixed assets, very good. But there is types also tangible and intangible. Tangible assets is of two types. One is fixed assets, one is current asset. Someone has answered absolutely right. Then fixed assets belongs to the land, building, furniture, fixtures, plant and machinery. Okay, company cap. These are known as fixed assets. Even computer, laptop, whatever you using in the companies, that is known as your fixed assets. Assets are used to run the business and not for the sale. So which things is going to sell? Stock. Inventory is always ready to sell, but assets is never considered as a stock and it is not going to sell. It is used to run the business process. And current asset belongs to the cash in hand, cash at bank, and sundry data. So what is cash in hand? What cash you have and how much balance in your bank, that is known as cash at bank. And sundry data in the company owner is also known as asset for the business. Next is nominal account. What do you mean by nominal account? Tell me, what do you mean by nominal account? Wow, someone has answered tangible and intangible. Okay. What do you mean by nominal account? Hmm? Nominal accounts belongs to all expenses and losses and all income and gains. Can you give me examples of all expenses and losses? What are the types of expenses? Two types. One is direct, one is indirect. What expenses considered as the direct expenses? Answer me, students. Okay. Direct expenses related to productions department. Okay. So that is like wages, power, freight charges, carriage inward, outward. So these are related to the direct expenses. And what are the indirect expenses like salary paid, rent paid, commissions paid? These all are indirect expenses. Interest paid. Okay. So advertisement expenses, Okay, traveling expenses for the company, that is also known as indirect expenses. Opposite of that, indirect income, like rent receipt, commission receipt, interest receipt, discount receipt. Discount allowed is the indirect expenses, discount received is the indirect income. Okay, and appreciation, one word is that appreciation. Appreciation is the increased value of the fixed assets. Okay, increased value of the fixed assets, that is known as your appreciation. And decreased value of the fixed assets is known as liabilities, and it is known as your, what is that? No, depreciation is known as indirect expenses. Okay, and it is a loss for the business. So clear. So types of accounts, and according to the rule, debit, according to personal account, debit the receiver, credit the giver. Yes, someone has expenses incurred day-to-day operations. Okay. Then what is the real account rule? Yes, students, what are the rules of real account? Unmute and answer me, or you can message in the chat box. What is the rule of real account? Debit
Debit
what?
what comes in, credit what goes in.
Yes, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. What is the rule of nominal account?
Debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes.
Yes, why I am asking? Based on this, we are going to transaction center in the SAP, so that this concept has to be fully clear. Okay, then only you will be able to pass the entries or pass the transactions. Posting entries is possible in the software. Okay, so any doubts in the today's sessions? Any doubts in the today's sessions? Enterprise structures onwards, I am going to start. So companies, company code, this and all I'll be sending you in tomorrow's class, this presentations, because few more slides are there which I am going to discuss tomorrow. After this tomorrow's class, and these presentations I'll be sending in the WhatsApp group. Okay. So today it was introduction class, students. Tomorrow we are going to start with the working on the software. Please install the software as soon as possible. System admin will come tomorrow at 9. You be there in college at 9:30 and get it installed as soon as possible. Requirements, all these things I'll be putting in the group. So any doubts? So response finally before winding up the sessions. Okay, so type 1 if everyone is followed and understood the topics. Today it was introductions. Okay. Any doubts? Okay. Thank you for your response, students. We'll be starting same time tomorrow, 6 o'clock. So 6 to 7:30. Today's the introductions class. Okay. And huh, tomorrow we'll be working on the softwares, get it installed soon. Okay. That's all for the day, students. Thank you. Thank you for your response. So our journey started will be continued tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Okay. Bye bye.